When it comes to film criticism, I think that a lot of people online mistake fairness for objectivity. See, I think being fair when you are reviewing a movie or whatever is definitely a good thing. You should always strive to be fair, and that means giving something a genuine go and explaining why you feel the way that you do. That's not the same thing as objectivity though. Objectivity is basically saying that you are 100% right. Objectivity is speaking about only the facts that are, well, objective, 100% fact. And honestly, when it comes to criticism, especially of art, objectivity is a total myth. Objectivity is bullshit. You cannot and should not strive for objectivity. You just can't really achieve it anyway. Plus, even if you could, that's boring as shit anyway. Who wants just a fully 100% pure objective review? If everybody only did that, everybody would be commenting on the same topics, everybody would be saying the exact same stuff. You wouldn't have your own unique spin on it, and yeah, it would just be boring. Subjectivity though is where it's at, man. That's where you do put your own unique spin on it. That's where you explain your very specific viewpoint, and that's what really sets you apart from anybody else making some sort of video or podcast or whatever, talking about movies or books or whatever the hell it is. Subjectivity is really the important aspect when it comes to being somebody's favorite critic or whatever. It's definitely something that I enjoy watching. I enjoy seeing somebody talk about their own personal viewpoint. That is something that sets it apart from any other thing, be it from a creator or watching standpoint. It's just so much more exciting talking about something a bit different with a unique perspective. And I think that that is pretty much always the case, especially since we all come at every single movie that we ever watch with a unique perspective, whether we like it or not. There's subjectivity in whatever way we want to look at it, because we all have our own comfort zones and genres, we all have our own preferences, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But we also have our own set of expectations going into literally everything. Even if you're one of those people that say, nah, I'm going into this with no expectations, nothing. Even that's kind of different from other people's expectations, because other people will have expectations. So in comparison to you, it's different. Therefore, you kind of do have a unique set of expectations, and therefore you are going into it a little bit more subjective than you might think you are. I feel like everybody thinks that you need to be objective, but I think that's total crap. Especially since when it comes to subjectivity, if you're talking about something that you enjoy and stuff, like you can have a different set of credentials as a critic, I guess. Like when it comes to certain franchises that maybe you love. Like for me, it's Saw, okay? I don't have the biggest audience in the world. You might be a new watcher, you don't know that, but for anyone who knows me, they know I like Saw, right? But I know that a lot of people definitely turn up their nose to that, okay? Saw is not the most popular franchise, and if you ask me though, a lot of the people that say Saw is crap don't actually give it a proper chance, and they just say it's crap. They just judge it off being like torture porn, and they're like, nah, it sucks. And I have a bit of an argument there. But that's kind of the whole point about subjective reviews, right? They spring up particular arguments and healthy debates, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that either. See, I want to hear other people's points of view. I want to hear why somebody might not like Saw. Because while I highly disagree, it's interesting hearing somebody else's wildly different viewpoint, or from somebody who is wildly different from me. That is just a good thing. And these sorts of opinions are really, surprisingly, something that I think actually brings us closer together in the art form of film. You know, it's something that brings up debates, and it's something that we can all discuss and have fun with. I don't think that that's bad, because as I said before, film is an art form. You know, we can't all feel about things in the exact same way. And that's why I kind of have an issue when you see lists of people's favorite movies online. Everybody has to have the same fucking 15 titles up. We all know, okay? We get it. We can objectively somewhat say they're movies like Fight Club, I don't know, The Godfather, The Matrix. What else? What other film bro movies are there out there? Whatever they all are, all those objective ones, Pulp Fiction and stuff. I think we can all safely pretty much say they are good films, okay? Like pretty objectively. That doesn't mean everybody has to like them. It doesn't mean everybody does like them. They certainly don't. I know my wife isn't exactly huge on a lot of these types of movies. And even for myself, sometimes I'm not like the biggest fan of these sorts of movies either. But the whole point is like, I'm getting really sick of everybody going on about the exact same movies. I want everybody to take their own subjective viewpoint. I want everybody to be open about their own fucking uniqueness when it comes to their opinions about movies, because I feel like everybody goes on about what is going to make them sound smart, what is going to make them seem cool or whatever. But like, I don't know, if you looked at my like top 100 movies, which I made a video for a few years ago, even though it's kind of outdated by now, but there's going to be a bunch of titles on there that are probably unexpected, or a bunch of titles that maybe you haven't heard of and all this kind of stuff. It's not all the same fucking hits, you know? It's not The Shawshank Redemption. It's not whatever the fuck else everybody always says, you know? Like, I just feel like I I don't believe people that say that their favorite movie is all of these ones. And like sequentially, it's like the top 10, it matches perfectly with like the IMDb top 10. I fundamentally don't believe you. I really don't. I don't know. I just don't feel like every film can truly hit everybody in the exact same way. I think that film as an art form is kind of personal. It kind of hits you in a particular way at a particular time in your life as well. So many factors make up a reason why you feel strongly about a movie or do not feel strongly about one. And I just kind of feel like everybody should fucking get a little bit more unique with their fucking taste, okay? Okay? Get a more unique taste. Bitches. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so yeah. Point is, subjectivity is great. Objectivity is boring, I would say. I think everybody should speak their own opinion, have their own unique take. Maybe that's not that much of a hot take. Maybe everybody thinks this, but I don't think it always shows up in practice. And I'm kind of annoyed about that, and I want to hear everybody's different opinions. I think that's interesting. I want to hear people argue with me. And I also think that as a critic, you know, it also puts you in a particular interesting perspective as well. Like I said with the Saw stuff earlier, it's like, because of what I've said about them in the past, you know, some people might trust my opinion on them that much more, or some people might highly disagree with anything that I've ever said about the Saw movies, and that's fine too, because I think that it would be interesting finding out why I feel the way I do and why you don't. And it's also why I really don't understand all those comments that people make online. Like, if somebody puts up a negative review of some new popular movie and they get all these hate comments, like, I don't understand the viewpoint from those haters who are like, fuck you, you don't feel exactly the same way that I do. It doesn't make any sense to me that like they want to hear exactly their own opinion being spouted out back to them. That's all they want to hear. I don't really understand that, and I also don't really understand like caring about somebody else's opinion that much where you're gonna get like legitimately angry about what they think. Like, I'm interested in what other people think, but I'm interested in why they feel the way that they do. I'm not just gonna be like, fuck you, you don't feel the same way I do, like we are enemies. No, I don't understand that. I don't really understand that one bit. So yeah, anyway, I guess what I'm saying, all in all, objectivity is not the same thing as fairness. You should strive to be fair. I don't think you should strive to be objective. I think subjectivity is where it's at, makes things so much more interesting, and that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and please, before you go and stuff, do the things, which are like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'm outie. Goodbye.